Thank you very much. My name is Colonel Chris Paris, P-A-R-I-S, Commissioner of Pennsylvania State Police. I would just like to say that the state police have been in regular contact with the governor's office, and the full support and assets of the entire agency are behind the FBI and our other federal and municipal partners to assist with this investigation. The thoughts and prayers of the Pennsylvania State Police are likewise with the victims of this terrible act. Participate in a full, fair, and competent and thorough investigation. To give you an operational rundown, Deputy Commissioner of Operations, Lieutenant Colonel George Bivens, is behind me, and he will discuss the operational portion that's being conducted by the Pennsylvania State Police. Lieutenant Colonel Bivens.
Well, if they're anything like New Mexico, we're fucked.
Good evening.
Considering he wasn't very
so
thorough,
let me describe for you a little bit about
the
scene that we have over there. As you know,
somebody was saying there's a Secret Service press conference right now. Can someone find that if it's true?
I'll see if I can.
It might be bullshit, but let's see.
Yeah.
Because if it is, we'll go right to that.
you know, there was a grandstand, a very large area, a lot of people there when this all unfolded. The former president had come out and begun to speak shortly after 6 o'clock this evening. And within about 10 to 15 minutes, a number of sounds were heard, and it became apparent that shots were being fired in that direction. It was a chaotic scene. Law enforcement, I believe, acted heroically, quickly identifying and neutralizing the threat, as well as responding to assist the various victims. PSP had a significant presence on the scene along with all of our federal partners at the time of the shooting. We have since enhanced that presence significantly, bringing in resources from all over the Commonwealth to ensure that we have a speedy, thorough investigation. We are working very closely with the FBI as we work through this. As you can imagine, because of the variety of crimes that have been committed, some are under federal jurisdiction, some are under state jurisdiction. And so, we're working through all of that, not an issue at all. We work seamlessly. But the FBI has maintained the lead on the attempted assassination. PSP will take the lead on the homicide and the shootings of the other individuals in the grandstand area. And so there are a lot of witnesses to be interviewed, a lot of things to be processed. There were some complicators that hopefully the next time we speak we can describe for you, but some complicators that slowed down some of the processing and the positive identification of the shooter.
Fuck off.
But,
you fucked up. You should have had more police there, motherfucker.
But I call bullshit on that too, because if it was Biden, it's exactly like what we said earlier. It would already be out there in full.
Yep.
I call bullshit.
It's scrubbing, man. I'm telling you.
Know that at this time we have no reason to believe that there is any other existing threat out there. We are doing everything we can to make sure that this is thoroughly investigated, and that if there is any information developed that anyone else was involved,
how do they know that there's no other threat out there? I don't get that.
Well, you know what, AP, because I'm checking the live. I'm looking at mainstreams, so ABC News Australia, which is live right now, is saying that same bullshit from that dude. AP officials say shooter was 20-year-old Pennsylvania man. And that's the guy that has been debunked. So it's so fucking crazy right now. They're getting fucked up.
He says he's him. We don't know for sure.
He's got a video where he's saying it's him.
Well, he's saying that he's name,
dead,
and that they got the wrong guy. Yeah, see, and it doesn't look exactly.
He wouldn't be able to make a video right now. He's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
The wrong guy? You mean the guy that was there with a gun that they shot? How do you get the wrong guy?
The one that they're naming. That
no.
How is that the wrong guy?
So the news outlets are running with that guy that everyone was saying was him, but they're wrong too.
Video?
Yeah. Here's that picture. How do you fuck up like this?
I don't know.
How do you fuck up like this?
Well, the thing that
this American Glass Research Factory, I'm gonna guess is what that is. He's right here on this building, and then here's where that Trump's rally was. This is right where he's standing. How the fuck do you not have a guy over there on that building?
I don't get it. It just seems like
how do you
the common sense thing to do, right?
Exactly. You think?
I mean, it's if you played Call of Duty, you know what that means. Like if you're direct line of sight and someone's got the high ground on you, you're fucked.
But
well, in theory, they had agents watching that side from the barnyard to the right of.
They should have had. They should have had a security detail over there. They should have had somebody over there.
That's what bothers me about that witness, right? Like, he keeps saying that like the cops were running around like they didn't even act like they gave a shit, and same thing with the Secret Service or whatever. That's what I like. If anything should be like, oh, this might be something. Is like, were they in on it? Did they let this guy try and get a few pot shots off before they took him out? What is going on here? Because
got off 3 shots before the sniper.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like,
and they supposedly saw him and had him in the crosshairs, and then they finally shot him.
Yeah,
well, the guy isn't wearing like a big jacket or anything. He's literally in just like a t-shirt and cargo shorts, and he's walking out there with a rifle, climbing up a building, and nobody stops him.
Yeah,
well, that's what that one guy was saying. He's like, they just saw him and they went and told the cops, and the cops are like just scrambling and.
Well,
like
yeah, you would think like maybe he would dress up like in some kind of security uniform, so that way people are like, oh, it's just like security that's going up on this roof, or an assassin could be. But no, just some weird looking dude with a rifle going up on a building. Nobody stops him. Nobody records it. Nobody thinks to. That guy did say that they said something, but
yeah,
like, what are these people doing? Were they all paid off?
But also, too, what about that sniper that was behind him that did adjust his position or adjust his shot? He had a direct line of sight of the shooter because he's apparently
the whole time,
the whole time. So, like,
I've got that. Hold on.
Yeah, I do too, and I shared it like in the background. Yeah, or one of y'all did, because that was the thing.
That was what a sight. I'm sorry. Did they admit to having a sight of him the entire time, or is that just what we're assuming?
By the way, look at this. Remember. Hold on a second. Remember this guy, the biggest Superman fan in the world? Remember this guy?
The guy that torments me over my dead sister and dog. Yeah, I remember him.
They almost got him. We were so close. This guy calls himself the biggest Superman fan. You don't understand Superman at all, motherfucker.
FBI would be rounding up every single right-wing person if this was Biden, and everybody was like, damn, they almost got him. I don't miss. Give me a shot. Yeah, they'll round them all up.
Oh, they'd be trying to find a way to charge Trump with it somehow.
It's a great meme.
You know, like that Babylon Bee thing I brought up earlier as a joke, but no, like they seriously would.
The thing is if the shooter was able to get 3 shots off and then got taken out himself, that means that somebody had a direct line of sight of the shooter.
Well, Flash, if you can share my screen, I've got a different.
Well, that's what I'm speculating anyway, Rhino. Yeah.
No, I've got that video of the sniper on here. I'm looking.
Yeah, but if you look at the video of the sniper.
By the way,
good.
Here's some stuff that was trending today. Shooter, how do you miss? They missed. One job.
Yeah.
Yeah, shocker.
56,000 votes on Shooter. Almost 4,000 how do you miss? 22.1K on they missed. And 26,000 votes or posts, excuse me.
There was another one that was
job.
worse, actually. It had like 70-some thousand.
I feel like they missed one, though.
I got it right here. So here's the sniper video. Now watch this. You'll see Trump react. So I think you're right on those. Some of those were the return fire shots when we were talking about earlier, Grumps.
So I had broke down this video before, and this video is highly sus, man, because if you at first it can go either way, and if you look at it, you don't know if the shots are their shots or if they're the sniper shots. I would argue they're probably the sniper shots because they're a little bit lower in sound. And if you listen to both shots, they're the exact same sound. So it's coming from the same distance, whether or not it's them or the shooter. But I'm more inclined to believe it's a shooter because after 2 shots, Trump goes down.
Yeah.
So like literally when you hear the 2 shots, he goes down.
So
well, then it sounds like the pop, 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 pop. And that's what I said. I think that was the return fire. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart's a couple of
He's
months
looking
old,
like he's got him in his sights. He's stuck on one, but
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I want to hear the
he's
shot.
Got a spotter too. Yeah, sorry.
Let's play 11 seconds.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
So it looks like he shoots when he gets shot. Because you see him move, like the guy got him in his sights.
Yeah, but why did he even let him get a shot
Take a
off?
look what happened.
There's two guys on that.
You know, that's a little bit old.
No,
check out the high res I sent you.
Okay, let me see that one. Hold on.
They're not Secret Service.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
there's
that's regular police. They have so there's if this is the clearer one, the guy's in police tactical gear, and it says police on it.
Yeah,
and it is. Yep.
There's two scenarios. Either the two shots we heard was theirs, and they were returning fire after the sniper was shooting Trump, or the two shots we heard was the shooters, and they didn't fire any shot until afterwards.
Yeah, this is local PD, and
yeah, that's PD. Yeah.
For them seeing that guy sitting there with that fucking long gun, they should be fired for not taking him out immediately.
Not already. That's what I've been saying this last 5-10 minutes here. That's what I was trying to get across.
What do you fucking think that guy's doing laying on that roof with a fucking long gun?
Yeah, exactly.
If not, you got a walkie-talkie on you. Why isn't one of those motherfuckers going, we have a possible situation at, you know, whatever it would be for them would be, you know, 12 o'clock, but like whatever they say the location would be, you know, and they should have been up there already. Just like that one dude with the red hair said. I kept pointing at him. He's up on the roof. And for like 3 minutes, he said, 3 minutes. Nobody noticed anything or said anything or did anything to respond to him.
But then
right?
go back to that image flash of the aerial shot that shows the distance, the 150 yards. They're on the roof of that barn that's behind where Trump is. And if you look at where the shooter comes from, they've got a direct line of fucking sight. They can see.
Well, this raises two questions, right? So I would be curious to see if they're going to openly admit they had him in his sights and they chose not to act. And you also got to ask the question, okay, so if they had him in his sights, Trump was never pulled off stage. The crowd was never told to get down or whatever. If you look at the rally, there's no perceived threat up until the shot happens. So the rally is just literally chilling. And why is that the case if they had him in his sights for however many minutes, right?
They're on the roof of that building that's behind where Trump is, right?
Yeah, so they would have been...
There's nothing blocking their view. Nothing.
Yeah, so this right, you could see my mouse moving.
Yeah, they're right to the right of him there.
Trump is right here. They would have been here or here.
The snipers? They're up there on that building, I thought.
No, on the building.
No, they're right next to him, though. That you can see him.
Yeah, but that's where it's...
What time was the shooting? Where was
they were on top of a building, though.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. They're on that building. Yeah, okay.
Because look, in that video that I played down here,
it looks like they're closer than they actually are. That's my point. See, yes, they're on top of that building. So he's standing there like we saw on the map. To the right of them, that's where that
you know
other
where they're at?
is.
They're on that barn behind him.
That's what I just said. Yeah.
Correct. Direct line of sight. No.
So they had a direct line of sight, like Rhino's been saying. Yeah.
So they let it happen.
Yeah. So they're right here on the butter barn.
Saying, yes.
Correct.
Right here. That's where they're at. They should have been. You're right, Tom and Rhino. So they should have. How do you see a guy laying there with a gun and not shoot him fucking immediately?
Especially let him get a fucking shot off.
But they were already
let alone 2 or 3
there too. So like, there's no
not actually called the Secret Service to come in and take him off stage, saying that there's something going on over here. Get him off.
There's some.
That's what I'm saying. There's obviously no perceived threat the entire time. The rally's continuing as it is up until the point that the first shot happens. So nobody communicated the threat at any point. Otherwise, Trump would have been taken off the stage.
And it certainly looks like they're locked onto something. They're looking at something.
Now, depending on where they're positioned, he is on the bottom part of that slope there. But see, that's where that one witness who would be, I believe, in that parking lot to the right there, he was probably standing right near between those buildings there.
Tom. If the shooter that shot at Trump has a line of sight on Trump and they're on top of that building over there,
they should see him theoretically. You're right.
Line of sight on him.
I'm with you on that, but here's what I'm saying here is like, so you see that parking lot there? That's where that redheaded guy was probably standing, and he probably saw him scale up the wall right there in between those two fucking buildings there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that building, he said, was surrounded by police. Yet they weren't listening to them and telling. He kept pointing and said that it was more than just him that were telling him that he's right here. The guy's up here. So they thought they were already looking for him. It sounded like to me.
Is that where that white dot is at by the parking lot? Those roofs, is that a sloped roof or flat?
The barn?
No,
they're both slightly sloped from what I saw in the videos.
Yeah, like where the parking
Not
lot's at, where
quite
that
like
white
a
dot is
peak,
at.
but a slope.
But see, my point is that Trump is lower than all of the shooters, right? He's
Yeah,
closer to
obviously,
the
yeah.
ground than any of the shooters, whether it be the Secret Service, the police, or the actual shooter. And for the shooter to be able to have a line of sight on Trump, to be able to get a shot off, the people, the snipers, those police officers that were on the roof of that other barn have a line of sight on him. And there's no trees, no shrubs, nothing to block their view of their line of sight on the shooter.
Well, there were probably
part's on Secret Service though, like 100%, because it's a clear, direct line of sight. Secret Service should have secured that location right off the bat.
Oh,
the fact that the police were like staring down the shooter, I mean, that's the part that I don't believe that the Secret Service would plot with the fucking local PD, right? But why was the cop just staring at the shooter? Why'd the cop let him get off 3 shots?
That's what I was saying too. Yeah.
Doesn't the sniper reposition to the left?
No, but
he does slightly move, but not much.
Not that much of a reposition. It's like he is already pointing in the right direction.
Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Were they pointing at the parking lot or at the building?
True.
I mean, look at the angle of the roof and his leg.
Let me pull up this. I want to pull up this video.
It's just going to come down to whether
we
or not
don't even know if they're the
admit
ones
they had
that
him in
took
sight
him
the entire
out,
time.
right?
So let me play this. So this guy saw it happen. They interviewed him.
A gentleman who was along the fence line. I'm just meeting him right now, sir. Thank you so much. You're talking to KDKA.
So we have another
Can I have your
witness,
name
then?
and what did you see and hear?
It was Ben Macer. I was at the same point that probably the witness you were talking to earlier. I was up at the fence line, saw the guy move from roof to roof, told an officer that he was on the roof.
He went to
the
roof
officer
to
come
roof.
looking. I went back to work.
He's nervous.
Heard that there was
poor guy.
somebody that could see the person, so I went back to where they were standing, saw the person, went back and told the officer again that if he goes back to that particular spot, he can see the person, figuring that he would go in radio. And when I turned around to go back to where I was is when the gunshots started, and then it was just chaos, and we all came running away, and that was that.
So, let me get this right. So you actually saw the man on top of the roof behind us?
Yes.
Everybody saw him except for the police.
People reported that.
That's what I fucking
Law
saying.
enforcement saying,
Yeah.
And I think there's another witness right there to the right, at that top video there, long hair, blonde.
Well, there was also
yeah.
there was also that redheaded guy that we watched earlier.
So if that's the case, that's 3 fucking witnesses, and the cops didn't fail to do anything.
How
guy
come none of
shook,
the
man.
reporters are going and
Let's hear what she has to say.
I like her
I was
shirt.
about 5 feet
definitely
away
votes
from
Trump.
him. Like, I was within, like, sight distance. Like, I was so close. And all of a sudden, I just hear these 4 shots. And everybody's screaming, drop. And you can see the blood, like, splatter on his face. And the Secret Service just barricades him. And, you know, it was just, like, so scary.
Oh, she's just talking about the.
Okay,
so she
never
was
mind.
right up front. That's not the
Okay.
same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there is another. So this guy.
Yeah, so there must be another one floating around. Yeah.
No, I've got it. I'm going to pull it up right now. So this guy he wasn't at the rally, but he saw the guy go on the roof and talks about, because they weren't at the rally, they were close to it at their house.
Right.
So
How could
they
you
were
not
partying.
see him go on the roof, though? You know what I mean? Like, we're talking about a place that has a population of 13,000. It's PA Butler. Like, this is the most excitement they've had in 10 years, probably. So, of course, that parking lot that was empty on Google Maps, guarantee you that parking lot was packed. For that particular rally. So
Well, that whole thing
people
was,
didn't
too.
see him.
Well, they weren't in the park. They were at their house. Here's this
How
guy.
did he get on the roof? Was he carrying a ladder too?
That's a good question. That
Well,
the
it
police should
sounded
answer.
like from the 2 witnesses we've heard from is he climbed up, and now that second witness that we just heard
Roof to
said he was
roof.
jumping from roof to roof.
means
So
he
he
was
must
on
have
his
got up
feet.
farther back then. Yeah.
He watched
That
the
also means
ginger
that he was
earlier.
on his feet, and there was movement.
Yeah, this is
over
the same
there.
one we've already seen.
Yeah.
Oh, did we watch this one? Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I
This
shared.
guy-
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this
So, but
guy.
the way that other guy, unless they interviewed this same guy, that guy made it sound like there was another witness though too to it. That's what I was saying.
How come none of these reporters tried to interview any of the cops that were there?
Again,
I
if
don't
I
even
was
know if they would
asked
get
by a
access to them
reporter,
right this
I'd be
second.
just starting to yell at them. This is all your fucking fault.
Well,
Doesn't
yeah.
matter who they are.
Well, and I had that video where the media. Yeah, this is the other one I shared.
Right
this is the one I shared in the background that I was talking about. Yeah. This is when I want somebody to mix with that video of them yelling at the media.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be. People need to start taking to the streets. This is
didn't Trump get fucked on for inciting violence for January 6th, just like what they're doing right now?
I never want to hear about January 6th again from these motherfuckers.
Me either.
I'm the same.
It's literally the same thing. Like
a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Do something about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
When they go low, we kick.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized right up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
Oh, Johnny. I'll never forgive you for that.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Wow.
Look, as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
A Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
I want to see somebody cut
Rules
that
for
with
thee, not for me. That's all I'm hearing.